welcome back to the Breaker Bros. And tonight we're going to go over the best defensive end prospects. So what do you think about defensive ends in terms of the Bengals?
It seems like there are quite a few kind of clustered around where the Bengals are picking. So, and it's a position of good value because defensive ends get paid quite well, and you could always use more pass rush, right? So, I haven't really formulated exactly what I think the Bengals should pick. But I think you could always make an argument that if you see an elite pass rusher anywhere in the draft, that you should take them, right?
Yeah, I feel like there's a few positions like that. Maybe not so much quarterback, because once you're set at quarterback, you really don't mess with it. But I feel like receiver, corners, defensive ends always seem to be, especially for the Bengals, they always seem to be, I guess, on their radar.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, cornerbacks. Corners seem to be a pretty good lock in terms of picking in the first round and actually having decent success. I feel like that's one of the few positions that the Bengals draft pretty well, like high in the draft. Like receivers, corners, they seem to do a pretty good job. But like with most positions, I haven't really done too much research other than when we get to review some of their film. But there is one I was kind of have my eye on. Just doing these mock drafts is that Latu. I feel like if he's there, which I don't think he will be, because I think if he passes medically, I think there's some concerns there, which I'm sure they're going to test him at the combine. But if he looks healthy enough, I doubt he's going to be there. But I think if he were to be at the 18 spot, it could be pretty interesting. And maybe a team would be willing to trade up to get him, and we can get additional picks that way. But I don't know. I kind of like the 18 spot for the Bengals. I don't feel like they should trade down. I mean, if anything, maybe you trade up. I think there's a lot of rumblings about possibly getting Bowers. It seems like, I don't know if that's a smokescreen, but it seems like that's starting to pick back up. But tonight we're talking about defensive end. So I guess who's the first one?
We got Dallas Turner from Alabama. Looks like a 2-year starter, 3-year player.
Wow, he's 6'4"?
Yeah. 6'4", 242 is what they have him listed as. Don't know much beyond that. I don't think I've watched too much Alabama this year.
It looks like from the PFF grades, it looks like he consistently gets better. I mean, 66, 73, 81. He doubled his snaps from 21 to 22 and pretty consistent from 22 to 23. So, I mean, and Alabama. So, I mean, he's proven.
Sure.
All right, let's check this film out. Oh, it did show his height on that 164. Okay, Georgia. I want to see him go against Mims, but I wonder if he just exclusively lines up on the right. Little face mask action there. Still got through it. Wow. They say he's 6'4", 240?
Yes, that's what he's listed as.
He doesn't look like he's 240, which, I mean, that's a good thing. Like, I figured he'd be a little bit more, like, wider or thicker.
Yeah.
So far, I just see him lining up on the right. Not that really makes that much of a difference. Well, I guess that could make an impact, because if he's exclusively to the right, I mean, that would be another first-round pick where you're not going to play that much, right? With Hendrickson. And it also seems like the Bengals like those defensive ends that can line up on the edge or sometimes in the like defensive tackle position.
Yeah.
I always think that's got to hurt your arm when you like swipe tackle like that. always amazes me, like, how basic the Alabama jerseys are.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, uh, clean and basic. I like the look. You know, just stick to your colors and stuff beyond that. I think it dates itself quickly. You know, there are lots of jerseys from the 90s that are hard to look at right now, you know. Think of like when the Broncos won the Super Bowl with Elway, like those jerseys, those pants. They really, I don't think, stand up anymore.
I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't seem like he's 6'4", but
Yeah,
I'm sure he's relatively close to that, but
yeah. I mean, to me, he seems like a 3-4 rush linebacker.
yeah, no,
And
like
fast.
something you see him on the Ravens or something.
Sure, tackler. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's annoying that goes that way. All right. I think clearly he's a first rounder, in my view.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is it seems like he exclusively on the right. I didn't see really a variety of pass rush moves. It seemed like he's more of like a bull rusher. Like he just tries to either outpower you or outpower the lineman, or tries to like sneak past him. But that's effective. I think you're right. I think he's more of a 3-4 guy. I can definitely see him on like a Ravens type defense.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, since we're talking about his position, I think we can look at where he played. Outside tackle. I guess it doesn't really say right or left. A gap, B gap, over tackle, outside tackle, off ball.
What's up, Drew? Here, look. Finally, a live comment. Let's go. We're gonna put that up. It says, if Dallas Turner's there at 18, do you take him? I think he gets Bama bump, or he gets the Bama bump and isn't really as advertised. I can see that. I mean, again, if the Ravens are at 18, they take him all day. He just seems like a Ravens player. But I kind of agree with Eric. I don't know if he would really fit in the system. Plus, if he's exclusively on the right side, he's going to sit behind Hendrickson, and it's like another first round pick that's going to have to wait to play. It's like, I'm tired of that. I want our first rounder to play right away.
No, they need to apprentice. All right, what do you think in terms of grade? He's probably.
Oh yeah. No, I could see him in a first rounder. I don't know if I remember correctly. I feel like I like the other guy better.
The other guy.
Yeah, this guy that's coming up out of Florida State.
Gotcha. You like Verse better?
Yeah, but here let's watch it.
All right.
So he's 6'4", 260. Okay, so he's significantly bigger.
Yeah.
Weight wise.
Yeah. This is on the Discord channel. If you want to stream along. For those who are on the inside.
That was just the first play, but it seems like he got a little bit more burst. And he kind of went offside, or he jumped a bit early. Had a little swipe move.
Yeah. He looks a lot bigger than
I feel like he gets off the ball a lot
6'4",
quicker.
260, so according to this, he would be bigger.
Yeah, no, you can definitely see it. But I feel like even though he's bigger, he's got like more burst.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's still on the right side. There you go. Whew. Is that Louisville?
Yeah.
Wow. He's got a little bit of finesse for being a bigger guy.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I've already see, look, now he's on the left side there.
Yeah.
Back on the right.
Yeah. He seems to use his hands a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than Turner.
I'm assuming maybe Turner got a better grade just protection wise. Like obviously we're only going to see the best plays just watching the highlights, but
Yeah.
just based off the highlights, like I said, from what I could remember, I like this guy a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like he can actually play in a 4-3 versus like the 3-4?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he looks bigger, so that I'm just going off of size and I don't know, kind of how he plays, right? He seems like he gets in. I mean, you see run plays, right? Just seems like a more complete player.
There you go. Chasing down the quarterback. That's good to see. Not to say that quarterback was fast or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So what are you thinking?
I mean, I got him first round grad. I mean, I just kind of taking notes as we go. I think he's big and fast. Looks like a good, good hands, like good use of hands. I guess good hands implies what? He's a receiver.
Maybe like powerful hands.
Yeah, maybe powerful hands. That's probably better. Powerful hands. I don't like the way that sounds. All right, what do you think?
That's like a Munoz thing. Yeah, I feel like he's got like a really good burst off the ball,
Mm-hmm.
like especially for his size. Looks like he plays well against the pass and run. And I feel like he moves pretty well for a bigger defensive end. Although, I mean, I guess 6'4", 260 is about average. I don't know if that's really considered bigger, but versus the first guy, I would actually, just to differentiate, I'm going to put 1A. Because I feel like for me, I like Turner. Or I'm sorry, I like Verse a little bit better than Turner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say like 1A for now. But then again, this next guy,
Yeah.
I feel like this next guy would feel
Latu.
really well.
I mean,
Yeah,
they just
Latu.
keep getting bigger. 6'5", 265.
They say Latu's 265?
That's what it says.
Wow, okay. He doesn't look like it, but that's good. That means like if they look smaller, then they can add a few more pounds. But yeah, I guess if he's 6'5", it helps spread out the weight a little bit. So
Yeah, I mean, you would look a little bit thinner.
okay.
That's
Let's do
really
it.
how tall you are.
Yeah, I think this guy could make it interesting if he makes it to 18.
Mm-hmm.
Like he lines up on the left side, which I like. It's gonna fit a little bit better for the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See him actually standing next to the lineman. I think he definitely is 6'5".
Yeah, but who are they playing? Are those the Chanticleers?
No, isn't that like Florida Atlantic or something like that?
I don't know. They look like some short linemen.
So like now he's on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I do remember of his film. Like he'll even line like at the defensive tackle position,
Mm-hmm.
or basically over the center. I guess we wouldn't really consider him a defensive tackle, but
Mm-hmm.
You know who he kind of reminds me of?
Who?
Oh my god, it's Jason. I forget his name, but he played for yeah, sorry. He played for the Dolphins though. Jason
Taylor?
Taylor, yeah. Now that I'm watching this, he kind of reminds me of Jason Taylor because he's like big but very athletic. Like he dropped. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see this guy being there at 18. He just looks too good.
Yeah.
Like he just drops in coverage and like, come on, man.
Yeah. You see the Bengals do that a lot too, dropping guys in coverage, which I despise.
Okay, now he's back on the right. He's just too fast. Isn't this Stanford?
Yeah, it looks like it.
No, he's like same height as these offensive linemen. So most offensive linemen, I feel like, are 6'5".
Yeah.
I think really the only concern about him is just he might have some health issues, but hopefully they show the play where he lines over the center.
Mm-hmm.
Just way too quick.
Yeah.
Like I definitely think he's a player that if he were drafted by the Bengals, he would be a day one starter for sure. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I see why he hides his weight really well. Like he's got really big legs. There he goes. Look, now he's lining it over the center. Yeah, I think he would make it interesting for the Bengals. I think if he was there, I think they would highly consider him.
Yeah. I mean, I think he has good quickness, good athleticism. Seems like a smart player. Nose for the ball. I mean, personally, I don't think he plays with I think he plays with poor leverage. Just seems very upright.
Yeah, I mean, I could. Whoa, looks like he just killed the quarterback there. I mean, he kind of used a power rush move, but I don't think that's his thing. I think he's more of a finesse guy. Like he's gonna try to get around the lineman versus like trying to bull rush him, which I think that's kind of like the. I feel like that's what the premier pass rushers do anyway. Like most of them are not necessarily bull rushers. They're just more like they do moves to get around the offensive lineman. But yeah, I would say for me, I like again for the Bengals. I think he's definitely my 1A. I put Verse 1B. But
so was that Turner is 1C now?
Just leave it at 1. That's fine.
Well, what does 1A mean? Does that 1A mean more than 1 or less than 1?
It's more than 1.
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, I could put like 1.5 for Turner, but that I think too is just preference, which you're looking for in a defensive end. But yeah, I would say he's very versatile, athletic, has a knack for the ball. I think he would be a perfect fit for the Bengals. He would definitely make it interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's see. Chris Braswell, another Alabama player. What? I guess that makes sense. Alabama is just basically the defense gets drafted to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this will update at least one more time
Mm-hmm.
after the combine for PFF.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think there's going to be, who knows how many updates, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's more than one update.
I'd say at least one more update for sure, because the combine, once they get all the measurements in.
Okay, so this guy's 6'3", 255.
It's weird to say someone's short at 6'3", but compared to the other guys, I guess he's a bit on the shorter end, but
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
but he's getting low. Look at that. He's got, well,
he doesn't seem 6'3", 255.
what do you think? He's smaller than that?
I would guess he does look smaller.
It's a nice little move. Oh, you stripped the ball right there.
Yeah.
Looks like he's lined up on the left side, which is. I seen him. Oh, okay. Seen him line up on the left and right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Way to finish that play. He doesn't look as powerful as like the first two defensive ends. Because I feel like the first two, they showed a lot more power.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's listed as a second rounder. Grade wise, right?
I can see that. The thing I would say about him is like he's not making like the same type of splash plays, but he's always around the ball. He's just like someone I guess you can count on.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's got a high motor. You think he's a 4-3 guy?
I don't know.
Ooh, okay. I like that. But in today's NFL, that might be a penalty, though. Oh, that would have been. Oh, yeah, they threw it. Why would that be on the highlight film? Like, what?
It looked cool.
I mean, if that was mid-90s, that would have been perfectly legal.
Jeez.
Maybe even early 2000s. Okay.
Okay, so, I mean, seems smallish. He looked powerful and looked like he hit hard. Yeah, I mean, I guess he would be a second rounder just because of the size thing.
Yeah, I think the size is what's.
But I mean,
I wonder if he would play more linebacker in the NFL. Like, yeah, I think he would be more of like a 3-4 guy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, I would say he's compact, high motor, always around the ball, just maybe lacks a little bit of size. But yeah, I would actually say he's a 2.5,
Okay.
like mid second round. It's kind of where I see him.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, because like it's like on one hand, like I see him and like I see how powerful he is. I think, is he like an inside guy? But it's kind of an odd thing to say about someone who isn't that big. Like if you say, well, he seems small, then like it doesn't seem like you would be like, let's move him inside, right? But that's what I think. I don't know.
Okay, so was this, is it Adisa? Adisa Isaac? Penn State?
Mm-hmm. Scroll.
There we go, left side. See, this guy already seems like he's faster. Wait, what was his height? 6'4"?
He's like 6'4", 254. Okay. So he's supposed to be the same size as Verse, basically. There's
another where he kind of like dropped back into coverage for a little bit. Bengals love that.
Ugh, wish they'd stop it.
I mean, it makes sense to do it every once in a while, but I just don't like it when I see Hendrickson do it. That's like,
yeah.
Hendrickson to me is like 100% pass rusher. Don't deviate from that.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather watch BJ Hill drop back. Ooh.
Yeah.
This guy seems a bit more vicious than the last guy. Like so far, my instincts is telling me like I would pick this guy before the guy that we just watched.
Yeah.
Like he feels like he's more of like a late first round pick. Ooh. He's also like another one of those defensive ends that's a little bit more versatile. I like it when, kind of like what you said before, like it's not just pass rush plays, it's tackling the running back. Oh, that should have been a penalty. Why didn't he? Like he clearly touched the face mask there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like every other play he's are like in a different position.
Yeah.
I think Lou does like that. Like if you can mix it up a little bit, throw off the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like when you see the quarterback get hit by him, they feel it.
Mm-hmm.
How's that not a hold? Bro basically tackled him, but he still got the sack.
Interesting.
Do you think in general defensive players on Penn State play smarter? Like they... I'm trying to think of the right word. Like they're very... They seem to know assignments. Like they know...
Like they're not getting fooled?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying, right? Like he's maintaining, what do they say, outside leverage, and they finishes the play. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's the other guy who seems a bit small to me. But maybe it's just because I'm used to, like, you know, the Bengals rolling out like 6'6" guys. But
yeah, ever since Michael Johnson, it seems like we've been drafting tall defensive ends.
yeah, I mean, I like him as a second round. I'd put him as a fringe. if he's like really 6'4", 254, then I think he's a first rounder. If he's like, I'm just gonna put him as first rounder. I like him as first rounder.
Yeah, me too. I think he's a late first round pick. I think he's the one that will sneak in. Mainly because like he seems to hit hard. He identifies the plays well. He's versatile. But yeah, I like him. I
missed half your comments because I leaned back. I got
just
versatile, hits hard,
identifies the play well.
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, Chop Robinson. I actually seen him being picked late in the first. Well, if you believe in Daniel Jeremiah.
I believe in Daniel Jeremiah.
Okay, so they say he's 6'3", 250, so shorty. No, I'm just kidding. Wait, he's also Penn State?
Yeah. They had good defense.
See if he mimics our last guy. Oh, wow. He seemed really quick. Yeah, so it's like 2 from Penn State, 2 from Alabama. That's just like not fair. Yeah, like I guess him and that other defensive end, they just seem to switch places all over the place because like. Yeah, see now he's on the left. Running play, there you go. That's just not fair. It looks like you can't put a tight end on him.
Yeah.
I think that's a tight end. 86. He seems like, yeah, another one of those players that gets off the ball really quickly. I don't know if it's because we're watching more film or highlights or whatever, but I feel like this, in general, this draft class is really talented. Like, there's so many players.
I've heard someone say that they're like the top 75 picks are really good.
Yeah, it just like I feel like there's so many I'd be happy with. Like if they pick this guy in the second round, or somehow like really the last 2 guys, if somehow they fall in the second round, I wouldn't be mad at all, because I mean, like, I feel like,
yeah,
I mean, the way they're playing against the run, like, that makes me want to pick even more, because like that was one of our weaknesses against the run. Oh my god, I was gonna say, if he would have picked that. Anytime we see a defensive end drop into coverage, we know that's like another thing that Lou likes.
Every time I see that, man, it's like, yeah, I get that you like trick the quarterback every once in a while, but I mean, like, really, how many times does that turn into like a big play? I think he plays with good leverage. I think he's quick off the ball. Good tackler. I don't know. I mean, I want to put him as a second rounder, but I don't have a good reason for it. So I'm just going to go with it.
I think he's same as the guy before. I think he might be like a late first round pick. I feel like you go either way, but yeah, it's almost like the same thing. Versatile. I would say this guy's probably a bit quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Plays with intensity, smart. I feel like it's probably a qualification you have to have if you're going to be a starter at Penn State, is that you got to be somewhat smart.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd give him another like late first round grade.
Okay.
I feel like, yeah, some of these people are just going to unfortunately fall into the second round just because there's just so many quality athletes all over every position, it feels like.
All right. 6'5", 296. Now we're talking.
So, was it Darius Robinson? Yep.
Yeah, from Mizzou.
Okay. So let's go back to that. What does that say? Where does it say his snaps? Okay, dang. Okay, so he had 290, 468 to 515. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
83, 77, 68. I guess you like to see that where they consistently get better.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like he played a little bit more inside last year. And now he's playing more of a pass rush position.
I don't know. It's just like when they say defensive end, D line, that's just like has Bengals written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he definitely has a high motor, but I don't really see him making that many plays.
Yeah, but say he had 9 sacks this season.
Is this just against Tennessee?
Yeah. Well, it says highlights, so. But it's a lot of Tennessee.
There's LSU. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, he's got nice size. I think the only thing I kind of see is like he has a really tough time disengaging from the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Like he can kind of move him a little bit, but it seems like he gets stuck on him too, which
Yeah.
could potentially be an issue, especially going into the NFL where people are going to be generally bigger and stronger.
Yeah, he just seems kind of like a bulldozer.
I was gonna say this is Kentucky, yeah. But most of these defensive ends seem pretty versatile. Like they're not just one position. They seem to be a little bit all over the place. But
Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't know. Like for right now, I feel like he's more like a third round pick.
I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say third. Oops, what did I do?
Because I feel like I guess another thing we don't really know is like how old he is. Maybe it says on there, but I mean, if he's younger, then yeah,
They
he's.
don't have his age listed. I mean, some guys they have age, but not him. They have class G, so like that must mean graduate.
Yeah, I feel like in that play where he was just like lined over the guard, and that might be where his bread and butter is.
He might be like more of an inside guy.
Yeah. Because he's like, you see like where he has trouble with like the tackles, like once they get their hands on him.
Well, I mean, like the elite guys, you see like the tackles don't even touch them, right?
Right.
Or
I mean, see, like he
not
pushes
the
him back a little bit, which is
higher
nice.
ranked guys. He seems to be more like someone who wants to, battle with the lineman.
I mean, in a way, I mean, they could be asking him to do that too a little bit, where like you're trying to push a pocket one way.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's their style, or maybe they just don't have guys that can do the other thing. Who knows, right?
Yeah, see, that was really good. Like, I feel like that technique would work really well against. I keep wanting to say Michael Vick, but
I don't think so. I don't think you want this guy chasing Michael Vick.
no. Well, I mean, same difference, but
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
yeah, Lamar Jackson.
Oh, good lord. I don't think that'd work.
Well, no. What you do is you push the pocket close to him, and you make him stay in the pocket until you can actually touch him. Because the problem is like when you start running around, you start opening lanes, and Lamar Jackson just has a really good knack of just finding the hole. So it's like,
All right. So, what's your take on this guy? You already said third rounder.
yeah, I'm gonna say third rounder. He's got really good size. I mean, I feel like he's strong, but has issues with like disengaging. Now that could be part of scheme, or whatever. But it seemed like all the other defensive ends could just like swipe, and they didn't seem to get touched as much.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he just likes contact, but yeah, I think he's a third round pick.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say? Yeah, bulldozer with good size, not quick.
That's what I said.
Jonah Alice. Wait, how tall is this guy?
It says 6'2".
Okay. Automatically a fourth rounder. No, I'm just kidding. Ooh, spin move. First spin move. Take it back. He's a third rounder.
83. You know what that says to me?
What? He used to be a tight end?
Tight end that couldn't catch. Position change.
He's got a nasty spin move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's got more pass rush moves in his arsenal.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, can he like bull rush? But honestly, like I said, in today's NFL, I think that's not really. Wow, he got back there quick.
Yeah.
I think that was just more identifying what the play was.
Ooh. Don't block him with a running back.
That was nice. I'm not sure what that was considered, but like he put his hands on it and just disengaged. He didn't like bull rush or anything. Yeah, I don't think he
Yeah.
really bull rushes. He's
I
like
don't know. I mean, it says he's 6'2", but he doesn't look shorter than some of the guys that are 6'3", you know?
he's just an honest 6'2", maybe.
Yeah. Oh, let's look at his profile. I wonder if it tells us his positions. Defensive snaps. No, he played defense 3 years. Oh, he had 13 sacks this year.
Yeah, he just seems like another one of those smart players. Like bad at pass at 6'2".
Okay. I don't know. I like him as a second rounder. I think he's seems fast, strong. Good quickness. Not sure about run. They probably didn't spell defense right. Is that right? Defense. That looks right. What say you?
Yeah, I like the variety of moves that he has. Pass rush seems like he's another versatile defensive end. He's quick to identify the play, but lacks a little bit of size. I feel like, I still feel like he's a third rounder though. Like maybe like a late second rounder, but I feel like he's like more of a third rounder though.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Who's next? Is it? Oh, Braylon Trice?
Trice.
Trice.
.6'4", 274. Oop. So it says he had 8 sacks this year, 9 sacks last year. A lot of good.
It's against Jones.
Ooh.
Saw several people mocking him like to the Bengals in the third or fourth round.
Yeah.
Seems like he lines up on the right side exclusively, but Oh, there we go. I was like,
Double A got blitz.
I think he's going up against some quality tackles too, because I think that's another guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was the left side. Yeah, he seems like one of those, like if you put him over the guard,
Mm-hmm.
he could probably cause a lot of problems. That was nice.
Yeah.
That was something I always wondered why, like, the Bengals didn't do more of like this stunt type stuff.
Yeah. Probably because they didn't do well against the run. You know, it's hard to stun on like 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 4, you know.
I kind of feel like that was just bad blocking.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's big, strong, and fast. Doesn't seem to be as kind of twitchy as the higher ranked. I still like him as a 2nd rounder. I just like his size. I like big boys.
Yeah, it's a good size. Seems like he's got a high motor. I feel like he may not be as flashy as some of the other, I guess, higher graded defensive ends, but I feel like he'd be a solid 3rd round pick. Like,
Okay.
Austin Booker.
Mm-hmm. This guy hasn't played too much. 9 sacks this season.
He hurt? He probably got hurt.
No, he's a redshirt sophomore.
Oh, so he's young.
Yeah. Well, indeterminate. Potentially could be young.
What's his size?
6'6", 245.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
against Texas.
Yeah. It looks like he's just spying there.
I feel like that's like something the Bengals like too. I feel like he stands up a lot though. I don't know if
That's what I was gonna say. It doesn't. Poor leverage. Lanky. Fast. And I'd say he's tenacious. Maybe fast and scrappy is probably the right word. Just seems like he likes to get his nose dirty, but he doesn't seem like he has very good technique. Just relies on athleticism.
That's interesting. I just don't know, like, because he stands up a lot. I don't know if that means he's more of like a 3-4 guy.
I just think it means he's more of a project, maybe. So I'm gonna say 4th round pick for me.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go with. 4th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it plays high. He's got a plays high. He's got a pretty good motor. It seems like he's got a knack for the ball. Just probably needs a little bit more development.
Okay. And
All right.
back to UCLA.
Yeah, that's crazy. It seems like a lot of doubles here. So 2 UCLA, 2 Penn State, and 2 Alabama. That's 60% of the top 10. 3 teams. All right, so it's Gabriel Murphy. Wait, it says he's 6'3"?
6'3", 260.
Okay. UNT? He played at UNT? What? Just live right down the road from me.
Oh, yeah.
I have a feeling he might be a bit shorter than 6'3".
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense. He seems to be quick off the ball. He tore at Miami of Ohio. That's probably what got him to UCLA. that running back trying to go low. It's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Lined over the. Yeah, he seems like. Same thing with like Penn State, UCLA's defensive ends kind of like line up all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it reminds me a lot of one of the UCLA guys. Or no, I'm sorry, Penn State guys. Reminds me a little bit of Adiza Isaac. Just a little bit smaller version of Adiza Isaac. So, and I said Adiza seems small. So I think he plays with good leverage. Smart player. Bit undersized. And go 4th round grade again.
Yeah, I think the 4th round sounds about right. But he's versatile. Also has a nose for the ball. Looks like he's effective in both the pass and rush. But yeah, just lacks that size. But I feel like that's probably like the new age, not necessarily NFL, but I guess football in today's world is that I guess you kind of have to be versatile if you're a defensive end. Seems like that's pretty much the consistency through this list, is that most of these people were like all over the place or dropping into coverage. I mean, it seemed like maybe the only one that wasn't really doing that was the first guy that we saw.
Yeah.
Turner. Like he was just a straight up bull pass rusher, and that's all he did.
Yeah, just sprint right past you.
No, it seemed like he would be no, the first guy felt like he just went through you. Like he didn't really like. But yeah, no, it's weird. Just going through all these different positions, I feel like there's so many players that would fit well with the Bengals, or I guess any other team, really.
Yeah. So we looked at defensive interior, tight end, wide receiver, offensive tackle, interior offensive line, edge. So what's next?
Probably corner.
Wait. Let's. Okay, we'll add corner. We'll do corner next. But I got ahead of myself. Okay. Looking through this, who is your preferred pick for the Bengals? Like if you went through this, who's the guy you like the best? And I guess I should pull this back up so we can see that too, in case you want to remind yourself on sizes.
I mean, Latu would be interesting, but I feel like a lot of people would have to be picked before him, which would make sense because
this is who's the guy that you. I mean, all these are in the Bengals' wheelhouse. Who's the guy that you would put put a little mark next to? As
here, keep going down a little bit further. I feel like. Can you go up a little bit more? Oops.
Well, I was going to look at Jonah Ellis's run defense grade. Oh, bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I feel like. I like the defensive ends out of Penn State. I feel like one of them too.
Mm-hmm. Well, pick one.
I would say if they fell out of the first, then I guess I would go with which one's taller, Robinson or Isaac?
I think Isaac's listed as taller, but you don't know yet. Get to the combine, everything can change.
Yeah, I would go with the guy that's. Oh, he's 22. Oh, the other guy's 21 though.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would say if Robinson falls out of the first somehow, and we can get him in the second, that would make a lot of sense.
So
What are you feeling?
So you're feeling this guy, Chop Robinson, but you said you get him in the second round. How can I wanna make. Trying to figure out how. Oh, there it is. I want to make it green for you. Okay. I guess we're kind of thinking the same. I like Isaac.
Makes sense because it's like
I
one
feel
of them's
like-
gonna fall out of the first. I feel like maybe both, and actually it would help out for the Bengals if they both fall out.
I mean,
Honestly, and it could even be something a little bit later, like maybe even that the Trice guy might not even be bad because like if he's in the third or fourth, that
yeah, you know what? Yeah, I do like Trice too.
because I think the only problem is that if you go down the list of all the other positions, it's like I feel like the second round, like the biggest value there would be receiver.
Yeah.
I feel like the first
Right.
round is
So,
like
you think
tackle.
maybe you get Trice in the second round.
No, I think you can get him in the third round.
Mm. Yeah, I mean he's rated as a high third rounder.
And I mean, if you can get him in the fourth, then that's just like for that to me, it's like kind of like a steal. I think like some of these guys are just gonna drop.
I get that if you get them.
I'm just saying,
way lower than
realistically,
where
I
they're
think he could be there in the
ranked,
fourth.
yeah.
I think a lot of these people are gonna be great at higher than what they're gonna go is just because there's just such a great talent pool in most of these positions. Because like I feel like you can even get an impact tackle in the third round potentially. You know, like offensive tackle.
Oh, man, I don't trust that.
I don't know. I feel like what the Bengals might actually try to do is I think they will try to get the tight end in the first, and then maybe get that tackle in the second, and then just everything starts to slide. And you get the defensive end or defensive lineman in the third, and that's when you probably get the defensive end in the fourth, maybe fifth.
All right. Well, you want to try a mock?
Let's mock it up. It should be, and this should be a little bit different too, because I feel like some of these grades have updated the last couple of weeks. So
Bang. Let's go.
Drake May is a first pick. What? Look at that. Verse and Turner dropped all the way down.
What? Verse and Turner?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, they went 16-17. So that means you could take stab at Latu, who you said was perfect for
Yeah,
the
but the thing is if you do offensive tackle and Mims there, I'm still taking Mims over Latu. But that's me.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling?
I'm thinking we looked at it and we liked a lot of second and third round guys. So I would pick a tackle. I understand Mims, but I want to maximize our grade. So I'm going to pick the higher ranked tackle. Does that make sense?
I think the biggest thing that's going through Latham's has is that he's actually really young. I think he's still only 21,
Yeah.
and he's got like 2 or 3 years of experience, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Mims, I think, has a higher ceiling, way more athletic, but he just doesn't have as much production value. I think that's the only reason why Latham is graded higher than Mims is because like he's just got more film. But yeah, I mean,
You with me though? Should we just go Latham?
I'm okay with that.
Or
Or
wanna
Jackson
check
Power
this?
Johnson's. I mean,
Well, we did that last time. So
okay, all right, let's go
just-
Latham then. That's fine. I also don't want to see Powers Johnson going to the Steelers because that would suck.
Okay. So now let's see. Jermaine Burton. Wow, Ellis went real high. Chop Robinson, Adiza Isaac. Uh-oh. Okay, so all the edge guys we liked, or some of them went. Seems a bit early for Trice.
Did Fiske go?
Fiske? Let's see.
Oh, he's still there. I mean, I feel like it might be a bit early for him, maybe.
Mhm.
But I also think if it's like one of those things where we wait, he may not be there.
Mhm.
But just looking at the board, I know this is kind of like out of left field,
Mhm.
but I really like that corner out of Michigan. Actually,
Right.
Roman Wilson might not be bad, but I like the corner though.
Okay. Let's do it.
They say he's kind of like a Mike Hilton type corner, so I like that. Oh, look at that. Fisk is right there. Fiske. Is it Fisk
Oh.
or Fiske?
Fiske. I don't know. We'll call him Fiske. Let's draft him then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would definitely pick him there. And then my hope would be that really tall receiver out of Florida is there.
Yeah, so we've gotten to edge guys that we haven't even looked at. So that's how quickly that went. I mean, it feels like fourth round is the round for a tight end. Maybe we could wait till fifth round because we got Dallin Hoker, Theo Johnson.
I think we wait one more round for the tight end. I feel like maybe an interior offensive lineman, possibly. I know there's some buzz around that running back out of well, I guess Beebe. I feel like he would be good. Oh, Zinter.
Yeah, but he's
I don't know. I feel like you would have to pick him next round for sure.
yeah.
But then that would push down,
That would hurt us on the tight end.
or we just go tight end early and just say screw it. I would pick Ben Sinnett because it's really not that far off. I mean,
Yeah, Mazel. Let's do it.
and then let's hope that we get that Zinter. I think because there's Beebe, so
And there's Holker.
Zinter. I would definitely go Zinter.
Yeah.
That dude,
We draft him every single time. He's our favorite player.
that and the tight end from Iowa.
Yeah. Oh wow. Jawan Briggs. Nice.
What round are we in? Fifth round?
We're in the fifth round. Oh, we have 3 trade offers.
The Rams, Cardinals, and Raiders. Can you go back to the big board though first? I just want to see what's available. Wait, can you filter out receivers real quick?
That's it.
Wow. I feel like we could still wait. See where you got our corner. I feel like if anything, we're either due for like a linebacker, possibly a safety.
Mm-hmm.
What are you feeling? Actually, can you do running back? Because there's that guy out of Louisville that might be worth picking in the 5th round. Oh well, there's Frank Gore.
Yeah.
Actually, I like Isaiah Davis too.
Okay, so that's more like a 6th round thing.
Okay. All right. So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking maybe we double dip with the defense.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I don't think that's a bad idea.
I think draft a Bearcat, right? We haven't done that yet, so let's do it.
I have no problem with that.
Okay, so now you could get Frank Gore Jr. here.
Yeah, I was thinking either that or whatever the best available linebacker, but
well, let me see. Make it easy. Linebacker. Yeah, either tailback or linebacker makes sense here.
yeah. Ooh, there's that one from Washington. Okay, I think we do tailback. I think we go Gore Jr. And then hopefully that Washington linebacker is still there.
Doesn't look like it. It said Kenny Logan. I thought it said Kenny Loggins. I'm like, ooh. So either you go linebacker or you go safety, maybe.
Before we do that, go to tight end real quick.
Double dip at tight end.
Oh yeah, we're good. We can't miss out on Eric Hall. That's all I'm saying. All right. I say
trade offer. We could get more picks.
What are we getting?
Well, we'd have to get pick 240 and a pick in another draft, which seems kind of not fun, right?
Nah. Yeah. Sorry, Eagles.
Sorry, Eagles. You should have thought of that earlier. When you
I always feel like at this point we kind of have to pick the best available receiver because, like, as of right now, if the Bengals tag T, then we only have 4 receivers.
Yeah.
I think Nesbitt. I go Nesbitt and then.
Well, we pick again at 2. I thought we picked at 240.
No, 252. But that's Eric all day. I mean,
yeah.
That's already taken for. I don't know.
We'll go Nesbitt then.
Because I feel like we can get some type of value in free agency for linebacker. We'll figure it out.
Oh, well, there's a linebacker, but we gotta get our tight end. Slipping. Bang. Stay in your seat. B. Dude, Eric Hall is a B+.
Yeah, I don't know why they have him rated so low at PFF. It's kind of crazy because I think the consensus is that he's actually much higher than that.
Yeah. I don't know how you get. I don't know. I mean, you draft the guy they have ranked number 203.
I think honestly, what messed us up is that we normally get a receiver in the 2nd round. I feel like, but for whatever reason, all the receivers were gone by then.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like it. I feel like
I
it's nice seeing different names.
I like this draft. I would be happy with this.
And I
You
feel
don't
like
get
the one
everything
thing,
you
if you look
need.
at this, is that we really focused on the trenches. So you go tackle, defensive, interior, some beast tight ends that can run or run block and pass or
Mhm.
receive. Zenter, I feel like, is going to be eventually a starting guard.
Yeah.
Like he would, like to me, like he would be like your versatile. I don't know. I could see him starting over our left guard as soon as
Yeah.
he's healthy, and then you can move him to right guard whenever Kappa's gone, because like
Yeah.
he's the guy that's going to save you money down the road. Zenter's like real good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if anything, what kind of hurt us is that we normally get that receiver early in the draft. That's why I feel like the second round, third round is where you want to get the receiver.
Yeah. They have us as reaching. I don't know how. Okay. Again, I guess they gave us a C plus because it wasn't a position of need, according to them. That must be it, right? Because I mean, we picked 53.
It is, but it isn't. You know what I mean? Because it's like we're unless we sign a Woozier back, we're gonna be down a corner or two, right? So it makes sense for us. You can never have too many good corners. So it's like I don't know why they're hating like that. And it's such a Bengals pick to pick a corner in the second round. You know what I mean? First or second
Yeah.
round. It's like
Come on, PFF. You gotta give us a bump for picking what the Bengals would do.
I say you want to run it back real quick and see if it falls the same way.
Okay, just 2 rounds.
We'll just do 3.
Okay, 3 rounds. Oh,
I told you Fashano might drop to us.
all right. Well, we'll draft him.
Oh, see, I kind of like Burton in the second round.
Okay.
He was like that one that was like really fast. Always had he seemed like he was like the deep guy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like third round you almost have to go for defensive tackle, but see, I like Sweat in the third round. I don't know if I like him in the second.
Okay. Sweat it up.
I feel like we killed this draft.
B minus. Oh,
No way.
We did. A.
I was gonna say, like we basically picked all the players that fell to us. Well,
Yeah.
except for Sweat. Sweat was kind of like where he was projected, but oh wait, no. Yeah, no. That would be a very interesting draft if we did that. But I would like it. I wouldn't mind this at all
Yeah,
either.
I just don't think you can spend a second round pick on a wide receiver this year. It's just
Why?
you can't. Well, did we tag T yet, or is it just assumed we're gonna?
It's assumed that we're going to.
When
But the
is
thing is, unless we get
when is
Powers
tag?
in the first, then I feel like you kind of have to get a receiver within the first 3 or 4 rounds. Like I feel like
Well, but there's a big difference between taking a wide receiver in round 4 and then round 2, right?
yeah, but I feel like your big play receivers are going to be in the second round. Kind of like where
Yeah,
we
but
got T.
You can't draft a big play receiver because you're spending all your salary cap on receiver.
Yeah, but our offense operates off of 3 receivers. It's not. That's my point. Because like, when have we ever played a full season where all 3 of them, or I'm sorry, all T and Chase played all season?
Yeah,
They literally get hurt.
In order to be a good team, your draft philosophy has to be first rounders start, second rounders start by midway through the season, right? So if you're drafting a receiver in the second round and you tag T Higgins, what are you going to do with your second rounder?
See, that's kind of why I like Worthy too, because he can be a punt returner or a kick returner.
You don't draft kick returners in the second round.
Yeah, but he's
You
also
already have
a really
punt
good.
returner.
But the thing is that it doesn't feel like T is going to be there long term. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but you long term in the NFL is like you can't worry about that. You got to worry about this year. You got to draft with a greater sense of urgency. You can't waste second round picks on guys that aren't going to play.
but he's going to play.
First and second round dudes need to play tons of snaps, or else you're wasting the pick.
So you don't think you don't feel like Tyler Boyd played a lot of snaps? Because I feel like he did.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You're replacing Tyler Boyd. So it's not
They
like
replaced Tyler Boyd with Charlie Jones. They drafted him in the 3rd round last year. You can't keep throwing draft capital at the same position when you have massive holes all over the place on the team. I mean, you have to. They need, like, the tackle makes a ton of sense, right? You draft tackle 1st round. If you do that, then you don't re-sign Jonah Williams, and that's your starting right tackle. That makes sense. So in round 2, you're going to have to, the Bengals need to draft defense, right? They need young defenders. They need guys. I mean, they need defensive interior. Probably could use a little bit more pass rush, maybe a corner. I mean, like, I'm with you. I think that PFF is a little presumptuous that the Bengals don't need a corner. I would say the Bengals could use a corner. So, you need to pick a guy who can start.
but that's the thing. Our third receiver is starting. Like I think that's the difference.
But you already drafted your 3rd receiver last year. You can't draft another one this year.
But if it's considered an upgrade, then why wouldn't you? I don't know. It makes sense to me. Like, I don't think Charlie Jones is necessarily like your long-term answer for a 3rd receiver. And honestly, I think he's Yosevach over Charlie Jones if we're picking a 3rd receiver. But it's like you're preparing for the short term and the long term.
I mean,
if you get a dynamic receiver now,
I think that the biggest replacement for Boyd's going to be Jamar. I think they're going to move Jamar around a little bit more and I think that it's going to be kind of a mix of Jamar taking some of those plays and then other guys.
I mean, to be real honest, like the more I think about it, Bauer still makes a lot of sense too. Like, I know
that would make sense if you,
because it's like
Bowers and he started, right? That's your tight end.
Well, he's a great blocker.
Yeah, but
he's extremely fast for a tight end. I think he runs possibly a sub 4.5.
Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying though is that makes sense in terms of roster construction. You draft a guy in the 1st round, he starts. Makes sense. Is it a position you have a ton of draft capital and salary cap invested in? No. Yeah. That's something you can do. You can't like franchise someone.
Yeah, because like if you look at this board right now, say if we replace the 1st pick, say if Bowers falls enough to where we could trade up and get him somehow, and say like our first 3 picks ends up being like Bowers and let's just say the best available tackle in the 2nd, plus Sweat in the 3rd, or whoever the best available tight end or defensive tackle. That might be the best possible first 3 rounds for the Bengals.
I don't like Bowers on the Bengals. I don't think the offense uses tight end. I don't think they want tight ends. I think they made it clear, right?
But could you imagine a tight end that runs a 4.5 up the middle? Like, that's crazy. I feel like that was like the ongoing theme throughout last year was that we were complaining like, why aren't we throwing it up the seams? Why aren't we throwing it up? And then when they actually put in T. Huddy, it was like he produced a lot. But I feel like Bowers is a guy that can literally play the majority of the time, so you can disguise things a lot better. Plus, he's a way better blocker, I presume.
Yeah,
like
I get all that, but I mean, is he someone that the Bengals are even going to use?
100%.
Okay.
Because
I
again,
don't know.
if he can improve, I think part of the problem last year was that we played way too much out of the shotgun. Like it was so obvious, and not only did we play out of the shotgun a lot, whenever Tanner Hudson came in, or if Sample came in, like you pretty much knew it was going to be a run or pass. I mean, every now and then they kind of deviated away from that, but generally, if Hudson was in, we're passing it, right? If Sample was in, he was blocking one way or another. Imagine if you had a guy that can just be in there all the time. It would throw the defensive off for sure, because it's like there isn't that tell. And I think that was part of the reason why when we played teams, their pass rush was so effective, because they just knew what we were going to do. Like if we're sitting there on the couch with minimal knowledge of what's going on, and we could tell.
I just don't think. I mean, and I don't mean this to knock Brock Bowers, because I think he's a really good player, but I think it would just be a waste of his talent to play for the Bengals. I don't think they would use him unless they change the offense, unless they've not been running the offense they want to run. But I don't think they use the tight end enough. They're going to throw to the tight end like 40 times a year.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I just think, because if you look at Tanner Hudson's numbers, like at the end of the season, they really weren't that bad. I think he had like almost 400 yards, and he basically played half a season. When he started playing more, they actually started passing to the tight end more. Can't you look that up on PFF?
Probably.
I feel like it was actually fairly comparable to
player grades, maybe.
Yeah.
Position.
Like Hurst. I feel like
tight ends. Drew Sample.
it says find a player. Okay, I guess you do that way.
Okay, so
No, it says he's only what 239. Is that 239 yards? Is that okay?
I don't even see 239.
It says receiving V. I think that's what it says. Hold on.
I don't know what that means. Receiving V. I mean, but okay, yeah, Tanner Hudson. Okay, that makes sense.
But that's like, yeah, he was only at 2 pass blocking plays. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, he didn't come in to pass or to block.
These
like
are
that was
plays, right? These
oh no, he
plays.
was 34 run blocking plays. Okay, so that's not. But Sample had what 217. That's. I guess the 139 was the other tight end. Yeah, Wilcox. His run block grade was actually pretty decent.
49 targets.
Yeah, see, he ended it with 3
receptions
and 352 yards, and that's basically playing half a season, maybe even less than that. Here, I'm gonna look this up real quick because I feel like Hurst wasn't too far off of that.
Okay, but so you're saying
I'm just saying, if we have someone like
maybe.
Bowers, to me, he'd be flirting with like the 800-yard mark in his rookie year, and that's probably being in like 85% of the plays. And that even might be a little conservative. Like, I feel like 800 yards. I mean, if we can get 800 yards out of our tight end, that would be really good.
Yeah.
But I feel like he would be one of those people, like if he's catching the ball, it's going to be for like 20, 30 yards because it's like. But also, if he really runs that fast, it would be a shock if he got anywhere close to 18. But I mean, if he's there and like he's draftable, then he might be the number one guy. Because I feel like too. Another thing to keep in mind is that they're probably going to sign some veterans, like tackles and defensive tackles, to kind of fill in the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not going to go into the draft needing like starters everywhere. We're going to get people that are going to have potential to start right away, that are going to push those veterans. But I feel like when it comes to defensive tackles, we just need a really good rotation. Like, I feel like we were at our best when we had Reader, BJ Hill, and Okunjobi. Like, they had like a nice little rotation going on.
He had 22 receptions.
Who?
Drew Sample.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I think you're right. I take it back. Because, like, if you drafted Bowers, you would figure he would get, like, 50 to 100 receptions. Somewhere in that range. Probably closer to 70-something. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I think 60 to 70 in his rookie year would be about right.
Get, like, some...
Well, okay, do this real quick.
Can
you look up Laporta?
Yes.
Whatever receptions Laporta have, I feel like it'd be very similar to what Bowers would get. Yeah, see, Laporta's 6'3" too. Yeah, see, I feel like this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like 86, almost 900 yards. Like that feels right. That feels right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're talking about the second round. I don't know. It's hard to argue against it. If he slips to 18, I mean, yeah, you'd have a hard time passing. Don't think he's going to slip to 18. Do I think the Bengals should trade up? I don't think the Bengals can trade up for players.
Well, I mean, if he's around 14, pick 15, I think you trade up and you get him. I mean, anything before that, I think it would cost too much to get someone like that.
I think the Bengals are in the opposite position. They need to collect picks. They've already identified their elite players, right? They need to just build around what they have, fill in the holes, right? In my opinion. But what do I know?
Yeah, it's kind of surprising he ran a 4.59. It's probably why he was picked in the second round. Because that's pretty fast for a tight end.
Yeah, it's real fast.
Yeah, because there's a lot of receivers that run like a 4.5.
Mm-hmm. Well, probably not anymore, but it used to be.
Yeah, I think that's like if you're any slower than a 4.5 receiver, then you're probably either get drafted really late.
Have a hard time getting in the NFL anymore if you were a receiver that ran a 4.59.
Yeah, I mean, because like elite speed for receivers, like in the 4.3 range, and then
I mean, like
I think it's just like you gotta at least run a 4.5. You want to be considered, and then that's what I'm saying.
It's hard to say though, because I think it's just different, right? Because people have figured out how to game the NFL combine. That, like, you know, if you're a receiver, you train to run the sprint, right? But then when the season comes around, or after you're drafted, I don't think you train to run like that anymore. You go back to playing football. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think like you run the 4.3 at the combine, but you run it because like you've been training with a track coach for 2 months. But then once that's over, you just go back to playing football. Like, I mean, does that speed like stay, or are you back to running whatever you ran before you were training for the combine? You know?
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like game speed is a lot different than running a straight line. So like, but I mean, it must suggest something, because like it feels like a lot of coaches really do lean on that number, the 4-3 or the 40 number.
Well, it's a comparison, right? I mean, at least everybody's in the same place doing the same thing. So maybe you think of it more in terms of ranking, right? Like this guy is about.
Can you scroll down one notch? Okay, go up a little bit.
What? This way?
Down a little bit. Up. Just one. One more. That's close enough. I was trying to get you to line up with Porto's body.
Oh, I see. Probably easier to do it this way.
It's pretty close.
Oops. Yeah.
But yeah, I was pretty much like offensive tackle or one of those elite defensive tackles 18. But then I don't know, as more people start talking about tight end, I'm like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like, there you go.
Oops, wrong one.
But then again, like I said, I feel like now, after going through this process, there's like a center, at least 3 or 4 different right tackles I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like even some of those elite cornerbacks. Like I'd be like, okay, like in the first,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind. And then, but yeah, if Bowers is there, it might. I would say this too. If we're drafting it may also be because of what Burrow wants too. Like, if he prefers protection, then we're gonna get the tackle, right? But if he wants that offensive weapon, it could be Bowers.
Yeah.
But for sure, not going to be a running back. I think that would be for sure not in the first round. I think that's one of those positions but I think tight end, defensive tackle, defensive end, corner. If one of those really fast receivers fall, I could see that too. Because that Adunze, I mean, I doubt he's going to fall out that far, but there's a lot of buzz around him, and I heard he runs like a 4.3.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be crazy. But I mean, but I'm in the line. Like I can see us picking a receiver in the second round. I know you want to wait, I guess, more towards the third, maybe 4th round. I just don't think you're gonna get those dynamic players in the 4th round. I think they're all going to be gone by the 3rd round, receiver wise. Like I think there's gonna be draftable players that are receivers, kind of like a Charlie Jones-esque, but I feel like we just need something a little bit better than Charlie Jones. I think Yosavash, I think if you're looking for a replacement for the third receiver, I think he's got more of a build of it. So when I watch Yosavash play, he just seems like a faster TJ Hushmanzada. He looks big on the field. I was actually kind of surprised like how big he looked when he was playing.
Yeah.
Except he's fast. Like he run like a 4.4 or something like that, or
Yeah, I think he was like a 4.4, but he's just big. So
yeah, he was like 6'4", 4.4.
Yeah.
Which might be slightly faster than T. I think T ran a 4.5. But the big difference with T is that he can just jump out of the stadium. I don't think anyone high points the ball like he does. Like that was one thing I noticed when we went through all the receivers that were coming out in the draft, or even the receivers that are in the NFL now. Like he just, I guess with that basketball background, like he literally looks like he's going for a dunk every single time. So like he gets really high up there. It's actually kind of remarkable when you watch some of those plays back. He's just how high he gets. I'm like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's like one thing that's going to be really hard to replace.
Yeah.
But I feel like the first probably 4 rounds, we can have impact players for sure. And then a lot of role players after that.
Mm-hmm.
Because even I feel like some of those really good defensive ends that we liked, like in the top 10, are going to be there in the 4th round. I know like in PFF, a lot of them fell out. of or they're all gone by the third. But
Yeah.
I feel like realistically, some of those are going to drop because there's just so many offensive tackles that are really good that are going to be drafted throughout the first 3 rounds. The majority are going to be drafted in the first 2 rounds, I would imagine. I can see what probably 12 or 14 offensive tackles picked in the first 2 rounds.
I don't remember. That seems like a lot.
I'd say at least 12.
Okay.
It's just like that's just the talent. I think the most talented position is offensive tackle if you're looking at depth, and then defensive tackle doesn't seem as deep, but I feel like, I mean, we haven't even got to corners yet. I feel like we might watch some of these corners and maybe think that could be my second round pick eventually, is the corners. Because like if we watch the film and be like, I feel like that's a sweet spot for the Bengals too, is the second round for corners.
Yeah, I almost feel like they have to take a defensive tackle in the second round.
I do. I think if they want to get the defensive tackle that they want, then yeah, they'll have to kind of pick high for some of those guys. But if you want a specific guy to do specific things, and it might be the second round.
When was the last defensive tackle they drafted?
I think it was Sample.
Cam Sample?
Yeah. But I mean, he's kind of like a in-between tackle, defensive end.
Yeah, I mean.
But that's kind of who they go for.
Who's the guy from Florida?
Sample, I think. Oh, no. Sorry. Carter.
Yeah.
It's Carter.
Zach Carter.
I think Carter was the year before Sample. Or maybe I have that backwards. Maybe Sample was before Carter.
Yeah, but Carter was like a defensive end too, that they kind of moved into defensive tackle. So,
I think if they get just a true defensive tackle, that maybe can do some of the outside stuff, but they just need.
Maybe what they're probably gonna do is they're probably gonna get like I could see him drafting like the guy from Missouri and moving him to tackle. That would be like a Bengals move.
I wouldn't mind that, but I feel like they should just get a true defensive tackle. Not like, I think that's part of their problem.
Might help with the run issue, right?
Yeah, but I do think there's a lot of veterans out there too that are not gonna. Well, I don't know. I feel like if they can bring back Reader one way or another, which I think is the most likely possibility, because I feel like he's gonna have to start the year on PUP. I don't know how he doesn't, because he got hurt so late in the year, and I feel like tearing your quad is not like an easy thing to recover from. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's maybe not a full year, but like an 8-month like recovery process or something like that. Maybe it's sooner than that. I don't know. Most of the people in the NFL are freaks, so they probably recover a lot quicker than your average human.
Yeah, for sure. Or else they'd be dead. Because your average human would not recover from the NFL.
Yeah, no, they're conditioned a lot differently. But no, so I guess we're gonna do defensive backs, and then I think the combine's after that, right? Wait, hold on.
Are we gonna do defensive backs? I thought we were just gonna do corners.
Oh, my bad. That's what I meant. Corners,
safeties, combine.
Well, I guess we could check if it's one of those things where not many corners are rated high. We can just mix defensive backs in it, corners and safeties.
Okay. Yeah, we could.
But I have a feeling there's probably going to be quite a bit of defensive backs or corners that are going to be ranked at least in the top 10.
Yeah.
But
should be about 10.
It looks like should be about what, 10?
Yeah, should be about 10 corners ranked in the top 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, 10 corners ranked in the top 100 is what I'm trying to say. Because when we did guards and centers, I don't think there was 10 in the top 100 for those positions.
No, we ran out of people to even watch. Yeah,
but next week is the 28th. But isn't next weekend the combine?
I think it is, yeah. February 29th sounds familiar.
Okay, well that's a Thursday. But I do think they start like somewhat midweek
Hmm.
or a little bit before the weekend, Friday. So yeah, I guess we'll. So do you want to still meet on next Wednesday, or how do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do Wednesday. We'll figure out if we need to do something special for the combine, maybe over the weekend.
Yeah, I feel like we can make time for it. We should do
Yeah.
something because I
Okay.
think we wanted to watch. I think they had the dates marked or whatever, and I think
Mhm.
what we wanted to watch the offensive lineman.
Yeah, we could. I don't think we really talked about what we would watch. So
I feel like the offensive linemen and running backs were doing it the same day. And I was like, that might work out.
hmm
Because, I mean, we've already looked at the offensive linemen, but we haven't really looked at the running backs.
hmm
And it might be nice to see them in real time. All right, cool. I think that's good for this episode. So let me pull up the video. All right. Peace.